Hey guys, it's Nathan. I'm starting a new series called BibleShorts, and basically what this is I take my youth group lessons and I kind of condense them into 5 or 10 minutes and try to convey the message that we were studying about in the youth group. And so today we're going to be talking about wicked King Jehu in 2 Kings chapters 9 through 10. Now, if you read 2 Kings 9 and you read halfway through chapter 10, you're going to look at it and say, wow, he seems like a pretty great king. He's killing all of Ahab's descendants, which the Lord had prophesied would happen. He's getting rid of all the Baal worshipers. He's, getting the right people around himself, seemingly. And it seems like he's doing a pretty good job. And right at first, he actually does. King Jehu kills King Joram and Ahaziah, and he also kills Jezebel. He's the one who killed Jezebel. And so it's pretty intense, the things that he does, and it's pretty good, the things that he does. And I want to focus on chapter 10, where he does kind of the final killings that he needs to do, but I also want to focus on some of the heart issues that start to arise that become a little bit more prevalent throughout the story. So basically, King Jehu kills Ahab's 70 children, the sons, I should say, and these are probably grandsons and that kind of thing as well. But he kills them all. He sets them up, he kills them all, just as was supposed to be happening. And he gives a speech and everything. And basically, the Lord uses this to bring about his prophecy that all of them would be dead. And it objectively happened. We see this continue later on, actually. But something that's very interesting to notice in the first few verses of chapter 10, namely verses 1 through 17, is that he is being very, very public about everything that's happening, which could indicate maybe another issue. Now, verses 15 to 17 of chapter 10 are also interesting. He finds somebody, he finds Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, and he makes him join his chariot. Now, the son of Rechab we find in 2 Chronicles, Rechab was a scribe. And so that whole family was looked at very, very well, very highly by the Israelite people. And so it wasn't necessarily that Jehu wanted him to join so that he could see his zeal for the Lord, as was said in verse 16, but he wanted him to join because it would give him a little bit more political influence over the people in Israel. And so you see this kind of a power struggle, not really a power struggle, but a desire for more power coming from Jehu and him being so public. And he's using he's using God and his prophecies to kind of get there. But now you keep going and you see that he strikes down the prophets of Baal in verses 18 through 27. Now verse 18, King Jehu lies. He objectively lies. He says, Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu, me, I will serve him much, much more than everybody else. Now, he wants all the Baal worshipers to be summoned, the prophets, worshipers, everybody. Priests, the quote-unquote priests, they weren't really priests, but he tries to get them all. And he does, and he starts off everything, and he starts to go around and tell his guard, hey, if anyone escapes, don't let them. He tells the Baal worshipers, hey, I don't want any believers of the Lord in here. He wants to make sure that it's only the Baal worshipers that are left. And finally, in verse 25, it says, he came about as he had finished offering the burnt offering, that Jehu said to the guard and royal officers, go in, kill them, and let nobody come out. And so they kill them all. They kill all of the Baal worshipers in the land of Israel. And they throw down the sacred pillars, and they burn down the house of Baal, and basically turned it into a sewer or a bathroom. It says they made it to a latrine to this day. Now, these are all good things that happened, even if he did lie to get it instigated. But it shows his heart. It shows that he's not fully devoted to the Lord and making sure the things that the Lord wants to happen. It's more of he just wants to do the things that is going to make him popular. Now, when we get to verses 28 through 36, you really start to see this take place. It says in verse 29 of chapter 10, it says, "As for the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, which he made Israel sin, from these Jehu did not depart, even the golden calves that were at Bethel and that were at Dan." Now, why might this have happened? Well, here's the thing. You have to understand a little bit of Jewish law in order to understand why he kept the calves here. And it's because he wanted more power. But how does that relate to what we're talking about? Well, we need to look at geopolitics and the law. So according to Jewish law, Jewish people have to go to Jerusalem 3 times per year for their sacrifices to God. And that's the festivals of Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot. Okay? So Jehu is the king of Israel, but Jerusalem, where all the people would have to go back to, is located just barely inside of Judah, the southern kingdom. And so 3 times a year, all of those people are headed south. Now, King Jehu should have known better than trying to stop God's people from going where they needed to go, but he wasn't fully devoted to God. He didn't want them going to outside of Israel. He wanted them to stay inside of Israel. And so, to keep the control that he had, he made that decision. So he resumed the worshiping of calves. He allowed it to happen. And this is the exact issue that King Jeroboam had in 1 Kings chapter 12, where he didn't want the people leaving the land of Israel. So he established their gods at Bethel and Dan. It's the same exact issue, and that's why the Bible repeats the problem. And so the application out of this is that you follow God not simply for your own ambitions or because it'll make you look good or because it'll make you popular, but you follow God because you actually want to follow him and because you love him. And that's the biggest thing, is that you have to actually love God in order to follow him. And you see what happens at the end of 2 Kings chapter 10. He actually starts to lose most of his kingdom east of the Jordan to Aram because he did not follow God. And so Israel is not doing too well at this point in time, and it doesn't take too long before Israel isn't even a country after this. So it does take some time, but not as much time as it would have otherwise. So just a little Bible thing for you. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Have a good one.